One rebuttal per question. So, with that, I'm going to get out of the way, and we're going to turn it over to Mr. Blanchard, who will be going first.
Thank you, Chuck. And thank you, Lake County Tea Party, for sponsoring this event. And thank you all in the audience for joining us. My name is Dale Virgil Blanchard. I'm a Democratic candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives. And the reason why I want to go to Washington is I want to propose and support legislation that will grow the American economy. It's to the benefit of this entire country if we grow the economy. But I not only want to grow the economy, but I also want to make sure that Americans at all demographic, economic levels benefit from that growth, which was the case in the 1990s when Bill Clinton was president. I also want to make sure that all portions of this country, all geographic portions of this country, benefit from that growth. Too often when we had high levels of economic growth in the 1990s and even the growth that we had in the 80s, a lot of that growth was out west and down south, but a lot of it escaped Ohio and unfortunately northeast Ohio as well. So we want to make sure that, that all Americans, all over this country, will benefit from this growth. Now, right now, we have a problem, and that is our recovery is just too slow. We're not creating enough jobs on a timely basis. So what I propose to do is to focus on our number one problem. Our number one problem right now is getting folks back to work. And in order to create jobs, what I want to do is help consumers increase their spending. That's the way we're going to get out of this. We're going to have to grow our way to a stronger economy and grow our way out of our current federal budget deficits. So what I propose is next year, first thing I'm going to do when I get to Washington, I'm going to propose a 5% tax cut on the first $150,000 of income for individuals and on the first $300,000 for married couples. And that way, we will put more money in the pockets of the American consumer. And this will create stronger markets for American businesses to sell to. When American businesses are faced with stronger markets, they will increase their employment. I also have a plan to provide tax incentives for businesses to expand their operations. And when they expand their operations, we provide them the tax cut. Those tax cuts include an increased employment tax credit along with accelerated depreciation when they purchase new products. And I have a number of other ones. For more details, I urge you to go to my website, Dale Blanchard for Congress. Pretty easy to remember. Dale Blanchard for Congress, Dale Blanchard for Congress. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Dave Joyce, and I'm running for Congress in the seat of my dear friend Steve LaTourette. First, I want to thank you all for coming here tonight to listen to the issues and listen to the fine candidate Dale Blanchard and I, being my respected opponent, and thank you for coming here tonight as citizens to hear what's going on. Secondly, I want you, I think no matter what our political stripe is, I think we owe a debt of gratitude to our dear friend Steve LaTourette, who was a great congressman who served his country proudly for the last 18 years. He's a decent man, he's a good friend of mine, and as a prosecutor many years ago, we share a lot of things alike, although I don't have a beard and he's better looking. The one thing that is important though, from my years as a prosecutor that I've learned in the last 24 years in Geauga County, is that it's important that we represent people by telling them the truth, by being honest, and being fair. And the only way you can make intelligent decisions going forward, whether it's in your business or whether it's in your home or whether it's in your school, you have to be honest, we have to be open, we have to tell each other the truth. Secondly, for those of you who don't know me, I'm my wife, 22 years. Kelly and I have 3 children. Our son, Trenton, is 20 years old, he's at the University of Dayton. Our daughter, Kaylee, is a freshman at LSU, and our youngest is a senior in high school, soon to go off to college too. So the timing is right for Kelly and I to take this step, and we felt it was very important. For those of you who don't know, I had, since 1992, I've been unopposed in Geauga County. I was going to be unopposed again. I walked away from that because I feel what's going on in Washington is so important that I want to make sure that our voices are heard. I'm the middle son in an Irish Catholic family, so you learn how to negotiate quickly in an Irish family. And my father was a World War II vet who was shot and left for dead, but for his faith was the one thing that he felt carried in. He went to school on a GI Bill, started off as a laborer, and ended up as owning a small business. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and through them I learned important lessons that I carry with me today. That is, your foundations in faith, that hard work and education and a good attitude will could take you anywhere in this country. That's the America that I was brought up in, and that's the America I want to preserve for our children. But let's be serious. There's a lot of serious matters going on in DC. First off, we have the problem with our debt. Secondly, we have a problem with getting people back to work. And lastly, we have a problem with cutting the costly regulations and the Obamacare that is strangling this economy. I plan on standing up for all of us and fighting day in, day out to try to make this the same type of America that I grew up in. I'm not worried about the next election. I'm worried about the next generation. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Skip Claypool. I'm president of the Geauga County Tea Party. And Chuck has been nice enough to let me ask the first question. So this question is to both candidates. Since you touched on our country's financial situation, and as we're watching the campaigns unfold, it's becoming clear that there is two camps, and as far as approach to solving our jobs issues and our economic issues. One camp says stimulus works. There's two camps. There's one percenters and everybody else, and we want to take from one group, get to the next. And that's how we're going to grow the economy. The other camp says, no, that's not the best way to grow the economy. The best way to grow the economy is for government to get out of the way and allow our economy to work on its own, free enterprise capitalism. And so I'd like for both of you to comment to those two approaches. Do you believe that that's true, what I just said? And what do you think about that? And Dale, let's start with you.
Okay, thank you. Hello? Okay. Well, first of all, I guess your characterization of the Democratic approach to take from some and give to others is not really accurate. What the Democrats are trying to do is solve our structural deficit problem. So when you hear about having the tax rates increase back to the Clinton rates for people who have incomes of over $200,000 or $250,000 for couples, that is only an attempt to try to reduce our structural deficit. If we were at full capacity, that is, we had no recession, the recovery is completed, we're at full employment, we would still have a federal budget deficit of about $100 to $200 billion. And so what the Democrats are just proposing is that the way to close that gap is to allow the Bush tax cuts on incomes in excess of those $200,000 for individuals and $250,000 to expire. Now, as far as the approach that you're talking about for the Republicans, if anything, if you look at the Paul Ryan budget, he's calling for tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires that are going to be financed by all the rest of us, those of us who are not millionaires and billionaires. They want to eliminate what they call loopholes. What they really are tax expenditures, such as the tax break that you get for your home mortgage, for your home property taxes. If you have a decent job, your employer is providing you with health care coverage. That isn't taxable right now. They want to tax that in order to fund tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires. So if there's any kind of tax shifting that's going on, that's proposed by the Republicans, and it's going from the middle class and poor to the wealthy. Thank you.